Hello and welcome to episode 124, entitled Demand Excellence. The way of the samurai is called Bushido, and in Bushido, the foundation of Bushido is that death is always with us. Let me say that again. The foundation of Bushido is that death is always with us. Now that could be a morbid thought, and what I'd like to ask you to do is to take a step back and just think about that. Death is truly always with us. My name is Vierheller, and I'll be your host for what we call the Substance of Living podcast. Today, we'll look at what we call life's lessons. And I hope this will provide you with some insight, maybe even some inspiration to life's challenges. I'm in Tokyo, and I could suffer an earthquake right now, a building could collapse, I could die. Death is always with us. So what does that mean? It means that we may not get a second chance. And every time I say goodbye to my wife when I'm going off to work or to an appointment, and she sees me off, I hug her like it's my last time to see her. I kiss her, I look in her face, and I say, I'll be back. Because I know that death is always with us. And you might not get a second chance. So you have to do your very best each and every day at this moment now. Because the past is gone. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow may never come. All we have is this moment now. So you must give your best. So demand excellence. And if you're leading people, define what you mean by excellence. Lead by example of giving your absolute best. I've been lucky enough to work with Dr. Mamoru Mori, Japan's first astronaut. He was a physicist involved in material science to contain a miniature sun on this planet. That's what his science was about. And I've learned from him because he showed me every day he was committed to giving his best. Every day he was dedicated to doing the best he could, either as an astronaut, as a chief executive director of the Science Museum Miraikan, or as now president of Japan Science Museum Association. He's always doing his best. He inspired me to do my best. If you're the leader, mentor people, help them do their best. Demand that they do their best. I remember seeing a video by a professor at Carnegie Mellon. And he said that he had students that he challenged with a project, and they far surpassed what he expected they would do. And he was flummoxed. He had no idea, what do I do now? So he contacted his mentor and said, what do I do? And he said, and that mentor said to him, tell them that you think they can do better and that you want them to show you that they can do better. Challenge them to be even more excellent than they were. So, and set standards for yourself. Exercise, good food, good rest. Show them balance of life. Show them how important it is in order to give your best excellence. You must be at your best. When you combine that, it makes the world a better place for yourself and for your team. Last thing concerning excellence is something that NASA developed after there was an Apollo accident in which 3 astronauts lost their lives in a terrible fire in the capsule. And the director came up with tough and competent. Tough meant that you have to speak up if you think something is wrong. You have to be tough about that. You have to demand excellence. And competent, you should know what you're good at. You should always strive to improve what you're good at, and you should do your absolute best. If you fail to feel competent, find somebody else who is, because people's lives depend on it. Which brings me back to Bushido. Death is always with us. People's lives, therefore, depend on you. Do your best. Demand excellence of yourself, because you might not get a second chance. It will allow you to live your life fully on a daily basis. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today for the Substance of Living podcast. If you'd be kind enough to consider subscribing, you can contact us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or connect on Twitter. Join us again next time for what I hope will help you navigate life.